Okay, so the term anhypostasis is a new one for me, and I just watched a video about someone arguing on YouTube that anhypostasis is satanic, um, and it's the standard Trinitarian view of Jesus having two persons to go along with having two natures. And so I looked this up, and I looked it up in the Google Scholar. I typed in anhypostasis into Google Scholar, and there's an article about Karl Barth, who was a existentialist, Protestant theologian during World War II, and he argued for anhypostasis. Now, this, if you look it up on YouTube or on the internet, there's an article saying that it means that the second person of Jesus is impersonal, as the person of humanity. What's fascinating about that is that's also the definition of a legal person as a corporation. And if you study the origin of corporate law, it's from the church. It's from canon law. So it makes complete sense that the definition of this is actually the definition of a corporation as a legal person. And it fits in for me personally because my dad was a prominent corporate lawyer who went to NYU, and he studied existentialist Christian philosophy, and he even got published in a Christian legal journal, and went to Christian legal conferences and stuff. So this is something that he would have studied. But yeah, I posted a couple links on it, and another interesting tidbit about this is this relates to the Bible verse I had mentioned before recently, Philippians chapter 2, 6 to 11. That's also called Christ's hymn. And I had just posted a video about this because I was remembering when I was in middle school learning from Paul that your thoughts are just important as your actions, and as a Christian. And I was trying to remember what Bible verse this would be from for Paul, and it turned out it was the internet gave me Philippians chapter 2. And I did not realize that that chapter has like several books published about it, and PhD thesis. There's like a whole school of analysis, what they call Christology about Philippians, and that book is that chapter also is considered key for this argument about anhypostasis. In other words, it's considered to be corroborating or proof of this claim of anhypostasis. And so there's a guy who did his PhD on that chapter, and he recently had a book published about it in 2023. So I did a blog post on him. Good morning. And he has this really fascinating. He did like super in-depth Greek analysis. There's a couple interviews with him about his book on YouTube. His name's Crispin Fletcher Lewis. So I'll post the blog post, post that in the chat here. And here's the post I just did on anhypostasis. But essentially, he figured out that Bible verse of Philippians, because there's like some really rare Greek words that Paul used, and they couldn't figure out what it actually meant. And he figured it out. It refers to bride rape, that or bride kidnapping. So there was a the Greek gods were known to kidnap human women, and so Paul was arguing that you know Jesus was not conducting bride kidnapping, like emphasizing that Jesus was different and that in fact Jesus was the opposite by becoming a slave and being crucified. Um, and so it's pretty fascinating take on Philippians chapter 2 6, because what does that mean in relation to legal corporate personhood? Because I'm making the unique claim that Jesus is a corporation, and so I think that basically the the meaning of logos was misunderstood, or incorporated into Platonic philosophy, and this was the whole problem from the get-go, as I've gone into in my other research. And Christianity is kind of derivative of that problem of Platonic philosophy. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And yeah, there's the secret music meaning of the logos that I've gone into in terms of non-Western Pythagorean meditation based on music. And of course, I have tons of videos about that. So basically, this whole thing is due to a misunderstanding of the logos. And it's just kind of fascinating, like what kind of ideology was created that combined religion with the law and science, technology as Western civilization that's now destroying life on Earth. Um, and David F. Noble's books are crucial in understanding that dynamic as well. So I just keep on studying this, and I consider myself Christian. It's just I have my own take on Christianity. I don't know anybody else who has my take on it, so I don't really talk about it with other people because they wouldn't understand me. But that's posted on the internet in case anybody wants to try to understand me. Peter Kingsley, he's another one who's figured this out quite a bit. Alon Khan, of course, I think he's figured it out to quite an extent, but Basil J. Hiley figured it out to an extent. And then, of course, you have the Qigong masters who've practiced it and figured it out from practice and all that. But that's about it. So, just wanted to share this new tidbit on why I think the second body of Jesus, the second person of Jesus, is the legal personhood as a corporation. And thanks for checking it out. Have a good day.